John Carter sat on the edge of the examination table, his heart pounding in his chest. It was just a routine checkup, something he did every few years. He was a healthy man, or so he thought. The doctor, a young woman with a kind smile, pressed her stethoscope against his chest, her brow furrowed. She moved it slightly, her expression turning into one of confusion. "I'm sure it's nothing," she said, her voice shaking slightly, "but I can't seem to find your heartbeat." John chuckled, a nervous tremor in his laugh. "That's a good one, Doc. You got jokes." But the doctor wasn't laughing. She looked at him, her eyes wide with a mixture of fear and fascination. "Mr. Carter," she said, her voice barely a whisper, "I'm not joking. I can't find your heartbeat." John's world tilted. He felt dizzy, lightheaded. His heart was pounding in his ears, a frantic drumbeat against the silence that seemed to have enveloped the room. He could feel it strong and steady, but the doctor couldn't. It was impossible. It was terrifying. The news spread like wildfire through the medical community. A man with no heartbeat. Unheard of. Impossible. Doctors flocked to examine John, their faces a mixture of skepticism and awe. They hooked him up to machines, ran countless tests, each one confirming the impossible. John Carter had no detectable heartbeat. Cardiology specialists were baffled. His EKG was a flat line, yet he was clearly alive, talking, breathing. His blood pressure was normal, his oxygen levels perfect. Every other metric screamed healthy, yet the most fundamental sign of life was absent. John, meanwhile, felt like a lab rat, poked and prodded, his life turned into a medical mystery. The initial terror gave way to a strange sense of wonder. How was this possible? What was keeping him alive? He became a medical marvel, his case studied and debated in medical journals around the world. Yet there were no answers, only more questions. John lived a relatively normal life for another 60 years. He married, had children, watched his grandchildren grow. He lived to the ripe old age of 85, dying peacefully in his sleep. His death, though expected, sent ripples through the medical world once more. The man who lived without a heartbeat was gone, but the mystery of his existence was far from over. The autopsy was performed by Dr. Emily Carter, John's granddaughter, and a promising young pathologist. She had grown up listening to her grandfather's story, the mystery of his missing heartbeat fueling her passion for medicine. As she began the procedure, she felt a strange mix of grief and anticipation. What secrets did her grandfather's body hold? The first incision revealed something extraordinary. John Carter's heart was there, but it was unlike any human heart Dr. Carter had ever seen. It was tiny, shrunken, almost insignificant. It was as if the organ, having been deemed unnecessary, had simply withered away. Section 4. The Genetic Enigma. The discovery of John Carter's shrunken heart sent shockwaves through the medical community. It was a physical impossibility, a biological anomaly that defied all known laws of human physiology. Scientists clamored to examine tissue samples, desperate to unlock the secret of his silent existence. The answer, when it finally came, was even more baffling than they could have imagined. Genetic analysis revealed a previously undocumented mutation in John's DNA, a single, seemingly insignificant alteration that had profound consequences. This mutation, scientists theorized, had triggered a cascade of physiological adaptations, fundamentally altering the way his body functioned. His circulatory system had reorganized itself, his blood vessels expanding and contracting in a rhythmic dance that mimicked the function of a heart, but without the need for a central pump. His cells, starved of the usual flood of oxygen, had adapted, becoming incredibly efficient at extracting and utilizing every available molecule. John Carter wasn't just a man without a heartbeat, he was a testament to the incredible plasticity of the human body, a living embodiment of evolution's boundless potential. Section 5. Evolutionary miracle or sinister secret. The implications of John's condition were staggering. Could his mutation hold the key to unlocking human potential, allowing us to survive in environments previously deemed hostile? Did it hint at a hidden chapter in human evolution, a time when our ancestors faced challenges we could scarcely imagine, forcing them to adapt in ways we are only beginning to understand? However, whispers of darker possibilities began to circulate. Rumors of government interest in John's case, whispers of shadowy organizations seeking to control his unique biology. Had John's mutation occurred naturally, a random roll of the genetic dice? Or was there something more at play, something sinister lurking beneath the surface? The scientific community was torn between the allure of discovery and the fear of the unknown. Was John Carter a harbinger of a new era of human evolution, or a Pandora's box, best left unopened? Section 6. The Vanishing Records. The mystery deepened further after John's death. His medical records, meticulously preserved and studied for decades, vanished. The doctors who had treated him, the scientists who had dedicated their careers to unraveling his secrets, all seemed to have disappeared, their research, their findings erased without a trace. Some whispered of a government cover-up, a desperate attempt to control information that could reshape the world as we knew it. Others spoke of a secret society, a cabal of powerful individuals determined to keep John's existence a secret, to exploit his unique biology for their own nefarious purposes. John Carter, the man who lived without a heartbeat, was gone, but the enigma of his life and his death lived on. He was laid to rest in an unmarked grave, his story fading into legend, a chilling reminder that some secrets are best left buried. Did John Carter represent a leap forward in human evolution? A glimpse into a future where our bodies could adapt to any challenge? Or was he a terrifying anomaly, a warning of the dangers of tampering with the very building blocks of life? The truth, like John Carter's heart, remains elusive, a silent echo in the annals of medical history.